Welcome back to Law Talk. My name is Chris White. I'm an attorney in Fresno and Clovis. I do work injuries and accidents. I do DUIs. I do immigration. And today we're honored to have Luke Womderly from Peace Walk here to talk about your message. Thank you very much for coming on.
Oh, thank you for having me.
So, how did this get started? Your walk?
Well, I began in Bakersfield. The reason that I'm walking is because I could not remain silent anymore. I couldn't just stand by in regards to the way the country is headed and the standard of living. Most Americans in America are not doing well at all. And it just bothered me so much that I have to do something. And I grew up off Indian reservation. I grew up on a commune, so my life has always been for human endeavor, the rights of human beings, and the earth, which we so often forget about.
And then, where did you get the inspiration to do it as a walk?
The lack of funds. Otherwise,
Okay.
I would have purchased and made a little bike house so that I could and have a little place to be and to travel the world that way.
Well, it sounds like a great idea. I mean, it seems like there's a long history of walks or marches. Like they march on Washington. I saw something the other day. They have a group that started in Oakland about immigration and immigration rights. And they started in Oakland, and they were walking down to the border south as opposed to coming up north. So you how long have you been doing the walk that started in Bakersfield?
Yes, I started in April.
Okay.
And I've aged. I didn't know it was going to be so difficult, and so I suffered a little bit and had to recoup and reorganize and understand how to do walks. It's long distance, and the ultimate goal is to reach the president. I go to all 48 states to see each governor, and I'm on my way to the Honorable Governor Brown. And then after the 48 states, then I see the House presentation and the Senate and to the president. So that they're aware, our elected leaders are aware of a scientific-based principle to solve the problems that humans and the earth faces.
That's ambitious, all the way to the governor's office, then to Washington. You've mentioned the scientific process or scientific method a couple of times. Tell me more about that.
Well, the scientific method analyzes problems. As an example, it's not about making a better vacuum cleaner. The idea is to realize what the root causes of the problem are and addressing that. In which case, houses today we create are pressurized, and redundant filtration completely eliminates the need to have a vacuum. So not making a better vacuum is not the root cause. Soil entering the home would be the ultimate. It's just like if you see on the highway, slippery when wet. We put abrasive into the highway so it isn't slippery when wet. Using the scientific method to solve problems, all problems that humans and our earth face are solvable outside of money. When money dictates what is a project going to cost, who gets the contract, so on and so forth, that stifles, suppresses human emergence, technology, which is pitted against each other for patents and so on.
Yeah. So why do you think we have wars?
Well, wars are necessitated by our type of environment. War is the largest return on investment in the entire planet Earth. It yields the largest billions of dollars killing human beings and destroying the Earth. So when you understand why wars happen, you can begin to have peace. When war would to become non-profit, no one making money off of killing human beings, you will eliminate war by that very precedent. No veteran that I've ever talked to has ever disagreed with this. Anyone who has served this country understands that and realizes that if all the battleship makers spent plutonium, landmines, which are outlawed made in America, that when those are reduced to non-profit, there would be no war.
Yeah. Well, we've got some real thorny, sticky problems that have been around for a long time. I'm thinking like Gaza right now that is blown up recently. I mean, even with the scientific method, we got so many people trying to, like Jimmy Carter's 20, 30 years ago have been trying to really made a good shot at this.
To this
and,
day.
and we still got every president that comes through, it seems, is always thinking, well, maybe we should solve the Israeli-Palestinian conflict in Gaza. Is there a solution?
There is absolutely a solution. We live in a world today of technical abundance. All of human's history up to this point has been based in scarcity, the inability to provide human beings with resources, food, water, arable land, telephones, suits, whatever it may be that human beings need. We've reached that technical ability, that which our forefathers dreamed of. Many of our forefathers dreamed of the day when science would come and robotic development would free them from dangerous, repetitive jobs which rob people of their lives. It is completely unnecessary to have war, work till you die, insurance, medical, all of these things can be provided. I believe in your town you have a robotic assisted surgical unit, and it will always have higher success rates than human hands. The tolerances, the increments, and the ability supersede human beings. So by people understanding that we live in abundance today, can embrace that and insist to the elected leaders who will now know of the scientific principles that we are bringing forth.
I feel like I want to sing Kumbaya or something
Well,
like
people
that.
think that.
But
They say, well, this sounds utopian. And this, again, is to reinforce. This is what people have had pumped into their heads as children. There is no such thing as utopia.
Right.
Everything is emergence. All civilizations, Rome, Greece, all of these fell to transition to a new world. But no one prepared either the government or their
Right.
people for such a thing. Today, we know much more than we did.
Well, you told me before the show you were a musician.
Yes, sir.
What do you play?
Well, I play many instruments, primarily guitar. I'm a composer. And on my Peace Walk
I wish you had
page-
brought your guitar.
Yes.
Nobody told you about
It's
that.
very heavy to carry.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
And there's
I
a
can
lot of
imagine.
things I cannot carry.
I
'cause
can
it's-
imagine.
You know, what I did is I have a cart with a large sign that says Peace Walk, which garners so much attention and makes it available for people to discover that. And so on my Peace Walk page on Facebook, I have 8 wonderful songs about peace. When is the last time that you've heard a song about peace?
I don't know. Did the Beatles do something about peace? Or
Well, John Lennon.
Lennon?
Yes, sir. And so,
And he got shot, right?
Yes, he did, as Gandhi did, and Martin Luther King, who, of course, we found the government assassinated him. The government was found guilty of that. Most people are not aware of that.
Did you bring any videos or pictures or anything
Yes,
that
sir,
maybe
I
we
did.
could even play? Did anybody give that to Bill?
I have a couple. I just have a banner and him riding pulling his bike.
But if we
Great.
had any songs or anything like that, maybe
Well,
we
they're
could play.
available there.
Do you remember the words to any of them?
Well, sure, I could even sing one of them.
Well, let me hear.
This is the first time for everybody. I do not have the resources to go into recording, but I'm going to contact some people here. This is a song about Mr. Jones, the average person that lives right next to you. Mr. Jones lives right next door. He's a very modern man of means. Mr. Jones does what he's told. He's become immune to the screams. Mr. Jones, can you hear me? Mr. Jones, can you hear me? He gets up early, goes to work, his entire life spent this way. Goes along with what is wrong, turns his back and walks away. Mr. Jones. It's a long song.
That sounds great.
But the idea is that so often we are necessitated to be such inhumane, cruel, and brutal human beings. I have been fired by corporate jobs and many jobs because I will not lie and I tell the truth. It makes it difficult. A person can turn off someone's electricity and not think twice about it, leaving these. We're forced to behave this way. And we know that it's unnecessary. Providing humans with that which they need to survive, food, water, housing, energy, medicine, we can provide these, and not dollar store, bottom of the barrel, but the finest that human hands and technology can produce to benefit and enrich the lives of humans. They become much different. A Chinese baby does not speak Chinese just because it's Chinese. If it's raised in Poland, it adapts and it learns. All behavior is reflective of the environment. If you're raised in a home where you have lots of love, nurturing, and a desk to be able to learn and support, you go on through life to do those. But if you're born into a home where there's very little in arguments and deception and so on and so forth, it is that which you will reflect. So there are no good human beings. We know that there's no such things as Mexicans, blacks, whites, Jews. These are human beings and human being problems. That their color reflects the indigenous geographical parts of the earth that they were born in and come from. So that we know that humans reflect their environment. As we change the conditions, we change the behavior.
It's a lot to take in. So if somebody heard you singing and they really want to hear the rest of your songs, how do they find you on Facebook?
Yes, sir. An easy way is to go to Facebook/Peace Walk. And as you had mentioned, there's so many different peace walks. Another way is just to go to my name, which is Luke Wonderly. And that's LukeWonderly.
So if somebody sees you as they're driving along, what should they do? Should they honk? Should they stop? Talk to you?
If it's safe and they can park, please come and see me. I have lots of postcards that I've passed out to hundreds of people here in Fresno. Here in Fresno, they're very eager for peace. As you had mentioned, there's several peace organizations right here in Fresno that is bridging the differences for human beings, helping a new understanding.
And you brought the camera, like maybe you'll take a picture of somebody
yes,
and put it on their Facebook?
Yes, I take lots of photographs. If you go to Peace Walk, you'll see folks of all denominations, sizes, and characters with the same interest. That common demeanor that we all share, to have a life that's joyful and fulfilling and where we feel valued. And so I take as many pictures as I can.
Sounds good. You could write a book. Like, what's that, Walk Across America? Where that guy, I can't remember where he started. He met his wife there or a partner or something.
I think so.
But we're running out of time. Well, thank you very much for coming on. And good luck to you on the rest of your walk. And
3.5 years.
3.5 years to get to President.
I love getting words from people.
All right. And so if they want to get a hold of you, they can reach you on Facebook. And you told them about that and that flash.
Yes, and thevenusproject.com is the primary website. And that's thevenusproject.com. I noticed that your producer there did.
Yeah, he put it on there.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Good.
Well, thank you very much for coming on. We'll be back next week with more Law Talk every Friday from 3 to 4.